we always talk about things that people don't tell you before becoming a mom. And it's like, everybody talks about the lack of sleep, and some people might tell you about the strain on your relationship and how you might not feel like your body is yours. But I don't know if it was just me, but nobody talked about jealousy and resentment. And it was fiery for me. If this is your first time here, if you're joining us again, welcome. My name is Dr. Piper Grant. I am a licensed clinical psychologist. I am a mother of two, and I am the founder of Born Into Motherhood. This is a space where we talk about all things motherhood. I really hope that this space offers you reprieve, offers you information, and has a sense of support and validation. And I realized something in the last few weeks. I realized that the jealousy and resentment I had felt in early stages of motherhood is kind of dissipating. And I love that. I love that for me. I love that for my relationship mainly. I love that for my family. And I realize it's something that we don't really put a name to a lot for mothers in early days, in early stages, really. When I think about jealousy and resentment, let me tell you why I put them together, is I think that often there can be jealousy that comes up in a mom and she doesn't necessarily realize it as jealousy. Let me just name it for myself. I had jealousy and I did not really realize it was jealousy. And that jealousy, because I didn't realize it was jealousy, actually became resentments. And resentments are icky, 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 icky. Now, I'm primarily talking about it in my primary relationship, in my marriage, but I think that for many moms, it can come up in many different ways. You can become jealous of people who are child-free. You can become jealous of people who have older children than yours. You can become jealous of people who have children who maybe don't have the same developmental difficulties as your own children. Like whatever it is, there's so many different things. You can be jealous of whatever. There's so many different things. But jealousy, I think it's a bad rap. People feel icky talking about jealousy. People like there's almost judgment in talking about being jealous. And therefore it gets like pushed away when in fact, I actually feel like if we talked about it openly, if we could name it, then it actually helps dissipate, right? It actually helps take away the power. The thing that I realized in myself and in my work is that actually, instead of jealousy needing to become resentment, which is what it does, it actually can become an informer of what we need. It can actually tell us very clearly what, in fact, we are missing. So I found myself often resentful of my husband after, I don't know, I can tell you, I found resentment after our first child, right? I would be resentful of the fact that he could just like get up and go, and I think any mom knows what I mean. Like if he wanted to just like, I don't know, even simple, like get up and go to the store, he could just be like, hey, I'm going to just like run down the store. And I didn't have that sense of freedom in myself. Like it's not even that he would be like, no, you can't, you have to be with the baby. It's not like that. But it was like, maybe my boobs, when was the last time the baby fed? Like, am I going to need to pump? Am I going to like, and then I wouldn't want to leave. I felt jealous. I remember actually because he was working out of the home after our first child, and I would feel jealous that he would leave and get to go have adult conversations. I think many women can resonate with that. I feel jealous that he got to leave the house and be away all day and have adult conversations and that he had a life of his own, like he had an adult life. I felt jealous of that. And yet, again, at the time, I didn't realize it was jealousy, but instead I'd get resentful. I was angry. I was angry that he got to go and do that. I was angry that he got to just like get up and have like freedoms. After our second was born, I would get resentful of the fact that he could like go and play golf or like, go and play paddle. And I would feel like icky about that. Like, why don't I get to do that? And I remember us having these conversations and he'd be like, you can go do it, schedule it. I'll stay. Like it wasn't that he was saying no. It wasn't that there wasn't the capability of me being able to go. I could have gotten also babysitters. I had a nanny. Like, you know what I mean? Like but I also couldn't let myself do that. And what I realized when I had the realization, oh, this isn't that I'm angry at him about it and resentful, it's that I'm jealous. I was able to work backwards of like, then what is the need? what am I actually needing here? And what I was needing was time to feel like an adult. I was needing time to feel like I was free of the kids. I was needing time to engage in exercise or things that felt good to my body. I was needing to feel like I could be separate a little bit. And once I figured that out, instead of being like, well, I want to play golf too, or like, I want to be able to go and have adult conversations as well, then I was like, okay, if the need is a sense of freedom or a sense of like, having time by myself, okay, great. Now I know that I need to have time by myself. When and where, how can I get time by myself? And also, by the way, that for me, not for everybody, that also didn't mean I had to leave the house. That meant that we were able to have conversations about like, I just need to be able to sleep in the morning and not have somebody bother me. Just tomorrow morning, just need to sleep in and not have somebody bother me, right? It doesn't have to be big acts. There are other times that it was big acts. I am going to go out and have dinner with my girlfriends or like I am going to go spend the day writing and reading because those are things that feel really good to me. But in kind of working backwards and realizing that my resentment was in fact jealousy, and jealousy was in fact like a clue to what the unmet need was, I was able to then figure out how to nurture that. And that's what I would encourage for anybody that's feeling that is like use that as a fact-finding experiment, use it as a fact-finding emotion. If you are noticing that you have jealousy and resentment towards others, whether that be partner or others, become curious about it. Become curious about what actually is your unmet need, and then how do you meet the need rather than fighting the resentment. Because I think that's often where I see, I'm just going to side note, as a couples therapist, that's often what I see. Couples come in and they're trying to fight the resentment. It's not about the resentment, it's about the unmet need. So go to the unmet need, and then the resentment will dissipate because the need's being met. Make sense? All right. If this resonates with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to know how resentment and jealousy has shown up for you in your life. I know that it's common. Many, many moms feel it. And I hope to see you guys next week. Take care. Bye.